Alright, what's going on, guys? Sean Don coming back at you with a technical analysis video of my personal best throw from last week at Tucson Elite. This throw is 76.96, almost a 2.5 meter personal best for me, and it felt fast, but didn't feel that great. So let's break it down and see, so you guys can see the finer points of technique that I'm working on to try to, get to 77, 78, and hopefully eventually 80 meters. So let's take a look at the throw. I've had many people tell me that's quite the victorious yell. So yeah, I've had quite a few people tell me what they think went well in this throw. Kidboy Johnson said first two turns were really good. James Parker, who is a I think 78, 79 meter thrower, said the third turn was what really sent it. So I don't know, but yeah, we'll break it down. And yeah, so coming through the winds, I think the winds have gotten better for me. Just out of practice, I haven't really been changing much. I know in like my last technical analysis video I said this right elbow was kind of coming down, and it still does a little bit, but you can see it pushing more across rather than pulling down. But yeah, you can see the ball really come out to what would be my left, so that's going to be my left, and this is going to be my right, and that's how I'm going to talk about it for the rest of the video. I really get the ball left in the second wind, which is what I'm focusing on. You can still see, I think my stance is a little bit wide. You can definitely see the difference compared to, so that's where I start. I think that's a pretty comfortable position, but then, so I'll put my mouse there, and the camera moves a little bit, but as you come back, it's just a little bit outside of that, and I think ideally I'd like to come back to the same spot. Like I said, I think the more you step out on that right side, the harder it is to get the ball out left in the entry and then the following turns, and I think that's what happens here. So you're just a little bit wide for my liking still, and I think this will come as I develop my special strength. I'll get more comfortable with throwing with the more narrow stance at the start. But so yeah, ball gets nice out left, comes back around, I catch it early, shoulders are back, connect probably, I'd say like right about there, even though you can see my head leading just a bit, and sorry for the video quality is not the highest, but shoulders pretty level, weight looks almost predominantly on my left side, and you can see there's a little shift back with this hip, just a bit, but the ball really gets humming out there. So that kind of combats it a little bit. It's not ideal. Still working that out. And there's just a little lift through the upper body here. Just a little bit. Ideally, I'd like to see that left side stay exactly where it is. And I'd like to keep this ball flat straight across and no lift with the upper body as it goes left. Right hip works as the ball passes. You can see I'm trying to come around this left side, and you can see I do that with this right hip. So right hip comes around the left side. You can see right here, I can already tell posture is not going to be spectacular on this catch because hips are a little bit back and shoulders look a little bit forward as the ball's towards 180. This was the one throw on the day though where I actually felt like a really solid pulse on that catch in one, so maybe that's why it ended up going so far. The rest of the throws I felt like I was really missing it. I'm just kind of doing what I can to salvage it. But so I really felt a nice pulse right here, felt the ball pull me forward. So I come down and catch. Hard to say where the ball's at, maybe 270. I'm not notorious for catching super early on the first turn. But yeah, you can see, like I said, it's a posture. You can see that in single support. It's not great. Shoulders a little bit forward, hips a little bit back, and this has been the big thing that I've been working on over the past week since then, is keeping these hips underneath on this first catch and one, in addition to feeling the pulse. Those are two things that, if they go well for me, if posture's good and I feel the pulse, the rest of the throw is pretty much going to line itself up as long as I don't do anything stupid. But regardless, so yeah, so not great position there, but, and you can see because posture's bad, as I come back to 0, left side is already a little bit more straightened out than the right side, a little bit more weight on the right side because posture was not great. And then as you come through, pretty solid. So this is what Kibwe was saying was the key to the throw was this entry. He calls this the second entry or the real entry, I don't know. So this second turn, or this is the first turn still, I don't know. He said this was, I think what he was saying is that I did a really good job of passing the ball in this turn, whereas most people have a tendency to pull and come off early in this second turn, this first turn. I really don't know where I'm at right now on the throw. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, like I said, weight a little heavy on the right side, but right side really works well into left side. The left side does not open up that early. You can see shoulders going a little bit, head's going a little bit, but for the most part, the lower body, the right side's working into the left side. And then coming through, you can see I'm a little bit back with this left shoulder, kind of dropping it back. But the right side still kind of comes around that left side, which is what, once again, I'm focusing on. And better position here, better posture, still not great. Hips could be a little bit more forward. But I catch it relatively early, before 270 at least. And then as I come through, you can see me stand up here, something I'm not a fan of. I'm also trying to keep this left leg bent more throughout the throw. As the heel comes down, I think this is something that I do enjoy in this throw is this left heel comes down early, and you can see that right leg. Look at that right leg working. Boom. Right side into left side again, but you can still see left side's just a little bit back. And once again, this is residual effects from the entry and that first turn where there's too much weight on the on the right side. Sorry, on my right leg. So I kind of pull back as the ball goes out left, but I do a good job of chasing it out there with the right hip. Once again, right side coming around left side. Posture's going to be better on this catch. Just I can tell from right here. Shoulders more level over the hips. And then as I come down, much earlier catch. I'd say this is somewhere between 180 and 270, about halfway. I need to figure out my degrees better. But better catch here, better posture. And then same thing as in the last turn. Heel comes down early. You can see the left side leading just a little bit, but that right side really works into that left side. And this is something that I've been working on over the past, since I've thrown 70 meters, since I've thrown that 74 back in 2016. I was never a fan of my left, or my third turn. I always felt like I came off early, and I'm still working on that. It's not great. As you can see, ball, like I think before, I used to, if you look at some of my old technical analysis videos, I get off about the third turn, about probably in between these two frames, as the right leg picks up. But now, since I'm working with a lot more light stuff this season, I feel like I've gotten better patience through that third turn and letting the ball pass. And this is what I think James Parker said. I really set up the pulse and direction well in this third turn, and I have to agree with him. But you can still see there's some pulling back. Once again, residual. This is just me trying to fight through it. Right hip going around left, just trying to hang on. There's some pulling. You see left shoulder down, right shoulder up, dropping that left side. And this is something I've been talking with Nick Miller about. But otherwise, catch on 4. I think that's where my foot's on the ground. I can't really, balls, not like a super early catch, but I can tell you the posture even here was not great. It's okay. Shoulders, you can definitely see I'm long and loose through the shoulders. But yeah, so I catch early on 4, and you can see throughout the throw I go down this right sector line, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. That's why I kind of start left of center. If I work my hip around my right hip around my left hip, I'm usually going to end up going down this path of the right sector line. So as I come through, once again, residual effects of the entry in the first turn. More weight on the right side than the left side, so I pull off the finish. I get through it pretty well. very long double support in this final. Let's see, what if I catch there, or if I release there and then I catch there, a solid amount of double support. But yeah, you can definitely see me just pulling off of it. It's just me gripping and ripping it, I guess. And then left side comes off, and luckily I save it and give it a nice yell. So yeah, a lot of things for me to work on there, in my opinion. Speaking from the athlete's perspective in this throw, which is one thing I guess you guys don't get when I analyze other people's videos, is I did feel good this day. Like, it felt like the ball was moving really fast, and the circle at Tucson is so fast, and the circle I've been practicing on at the training center has been slow, and I've been throwing an 8K. So going from like a heavy ball on a slow circle to a lighter, relatively, ball on a fast circle, this thing was just whizzing past me. So that's why technique wasn't the best, but I got a hold of one, you know, and I guess that's all it takes. All it takes is one. But even just looking at the overall development of the throw, you can see my orbit shifting because that left side opens up and I'm a little bit heavy on the right. It shifts low point just in front of 0, and high point is right about there. And then you can see that's why I release and the ball comes out, and just it landed barely inside the sector. So like when I'm talking, like I caught one, it was I wouldn't call it lucky, but the odds were definitely in my favor. So yeah, fast circle, light ball, grip and rip, got a hold of it. 76-96, 9th in the world right now. But yeah, so that's what I'm working it on. Once again, the hips is a big thing, posture, and just pulse. And then calming down that left side and getting more weight on the left side as always. So, alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you want a technical analysis of your own, hit me up and get those finer points of technique ironed out. That way you can set 3-meter PBs just like I did. So, alright, peace out. Until next time.